headphones. Is it high enough this way? Because we could put something under it.
No, it's good.
That's gonna be
interference. Well, yeah, we gotta talk about that. What's up, everybody? It's your man DVS IMAAD coming to you. This is IMREALDVS. I am your host, DVS, and my co-host. This is Just Joy.
Welcome back.
What's up? Couple of things just to get it up out of the way. First of all, I need to send a shout out to my Humble Beginners family. In February, we will be celebrating 14 years of doing Humble without any interruptions. That is a party every month. I think we're up to like 166 now or something like that. And the 14-year anniversary has come up right now. We are in our season of giving. And this Saturday we had the...
But you need it, love.
Okay. This past Saturday we had our food drive for the family. Month, the second Saturday, it's always like, because I don't remember the date off the top of my head, but it's always the second Saturday of the month. So the second Saturday of the month, we will be collecting toys for kids. So if you are in the store and you see a toy for a young girl or boy, it doesn't matter, it could be unisex or whatever, and you can pick it up, bring it to the party. If you can't make it to the party, send it with someone, let me know, I'll come arrange for, you can drop it off to me. And if you can come to the party and bring it, we would love to have you. And if you can come to the party but can't get a toy, that's fine too. Come to the party. $20, all you can eat and drink. You do not want to miss this party. There was something else that I can't remember what it is. It'll come to me before the show is over. But I wanted to talk to you guys, as always, my focus is always on the youth, the community, and I would like to talk about, when I was in school, we knew something called the Golden Rule. Now, depending on which interpretation, it's out of the Bible. Don't ask me which situation, whatever. You can Google that. That's what Google is such a wonderful tool. But the Golden Rule, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Or do not do unto others as you would not have others do unto you. The reason I bring that up, there's a video that a lot of people are talking about right now. There was a substitute teacher, I think it was in Texas. Forget her name, it's not important to me. Not that her name isn't important, it's not important to talk about her name. What happened from the video that I saw, and I posted it on my page so you can see exactly what I saw, but there was a particular article that I found. Because at first, the only articles that I could find were the ones that said substitute teacher, hit student, and stop student, and everybody lost their minds. Even though in the video, it clearly shows this is a male student. They kept saying she, right? Is it a female?
I haven't done the research I should have, but I believe it was a female student and a male cop. Unless there are more than one incident, there are two incidents.
No, this is the same because
I believe it was a female.
That right cross, I forget the right cross.
I believe that it was.
That's not something that you forget.
Unless you get cross-bodied, I guess.
And amnesia sets in, but. So the video that most people have seen, if you don't know what video I'm talking about, you can go and you can look at it on my page now. But the video is it shows the student, the teacher in front of the student first. The student is sitting in the chair. The teacher comes very close to the student. Then you see the student reach up and hit the teacher in the face. The teacher had something in her hand that she immediately set down and commenced to wearing this child out. She hit the child repeatedly about the head and shoulders.
I'm done.
What?
Did she thrash her about the head and shoulders?
Repeatedly about the head and shoulders. And dragged the child up out the chair onto the floor, threw the child onto the floor, slammed the child on the hard concrete. I'm sorry, Slick Rick slipped into my head. Yeah, he's around here somewhere.
I know he is.
Yep.
I can feel his spirit.
Yeah, he's watching us now. Slammed the child on the floor and then stomped on said child's head.
How old is the child though? I know
teenage. Okay. I think it was a freshman or sophomore.
So this is not a toddler getting stomped out by.
No, this is a full-bodied, probably
stompable individual.
Yes. It was like if you stand up next to this child, this child has an adult-sized body. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's a fully mature kid, a fully mature adult. It wasn't. It was a child, obviously. So I don't know what are your thoughts? Huh?
Mine, my thoughts?
Yes, I really am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing. I'm also of the same era of golden rule, right? I was also raised, no matter what the situation is, right? I'm from North, we all know that. Shout out to the Number Blocks family in Hong Kong, you already know. But it's a couple of regular rules in the hood. I don't know if they're golden, I know they weren't, you know what I'm saying, necessarily in the Bible. But in the hood, it's like, don't hit anyone until and unless you ready to get hit back. Mm-hmm. Don't say anything that's gonna get you hit unless you're ready to fight. Right? Mm-hmm. Chris Brown and Rihanna. No shade, and y'all already know I'm her with it, right? I'm all unity and all that. But I know that girl said something in that car because that man did not just beat her. Mm-hmm. This particular situation with this student and this teacher, as professional as I want to be with my certifications and my job and everything like that I used to have that time, if you put your hands on me and you big enough to feel like you could do so, mm-hmm. where I'm from, that's all it takes. I don't care what job, how old. I mean, like you said, if we able to, if I'm standing over you and you know what I'm saying, you little and you younger, of course, my reaction is not going to be the same. But anybody that stand in the same, you know, breath as me, we in the same airspace, you shoulder a little bit with me, and you felt like you could put your hands on me, mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. That's just it. Mm-hmm. That's just it. And I don't know, again, if that's based on my upbringing or, you know, the other golden rule, because I feel the same way you do, you know. I'm not going to hit anyone. I'm not going to, you know, say anything to get hit. I haven't done it yet. Maybe that one time, but it didn't go down like that either. So, okay. So, it's really not my, I really don't care too much about the age. I'm just going to be honest, because, again, if you felt big enough and bad enough to break on me, guess what you finna get? All this work, because you asked for it. I didn't walk up on you, I didn't grab you up, shake you, or none of that. You decided that for whatever reason, all you could do was resort to violence. So what I'm finna do? Right. I tell you what else came around in my hood, you wasn't about to get your ass beat by no kid. Like, we're not gonna do that either. So yeah, it's gonna be some repercussions to your actions and a reflex too. Like, we're human beings. Somebody did, yeah, I'm going, And I want to be different. I want to say, your training and your emotions, and if you let a child get you to a place for all of you, that's not how I feel though. Right. It's not. Right. Now, but I appreciate people who do, because to a certain extent, you know, we had a short conversation. You know, if that's the case, then, you know, the cops can do whatever they want. No, it's a lot different, like you explained. But, nah, man, keep your hands to yourself and be it. Is that the golden rule? Well, that's how I was trying to, you know, bring this, to tie all this in. Because the article that I found had some, it was a tweet, I guess. Someone tweeted the video, and there were some replies to said video. Student in the classroom told me that this student called her the N-word. So this is from somebody who was in the classroom, spoke to someone, this person tweeted, students in the classroom told me that this student called her the N-word. That's not enough. Student actually called the teacher by the N-word a few times and took swings first from my daughter's version. So there was someone's daughter was in the classroom and came home, told their parents tweeted,
I'm sure he earned, somebody else tweeted, I'm sure he earned those blows. There's no way a teacher would do that for no reason. Another tweet, she called her the N-word and slapped her when she got close to her. Student,
who got close to who? Hold on.
When the teacher got close to the student slapped the teacher.
Well, why would the teacher get close to the student?
They were in the middle of a lesson. I guess she was teaching.
I don't know. I don't want to infer, but by the sound of that tweet, it sounds like the N-words came first.
Right.
He walked up on student and then got slapped. If you know what I'm saying, you come within a certain arm's reach.
Right.
I'm not, and again, I'm not saying that the teacher is at fault. It's not at fault. It is what it is, and that's probably how it would have went down in my class regardless. But that part right there is like, okay, well, did the teacher have opportunities and options where, you know, she could have de-escalated herself and maybe kind of step back? Or and again, I didn't know the details, but to hear that a student called me a nigger a couple times, that wouldn't have been enough for me to put my hands on the child.
That wouldn't have been enough.
That's not enough.
But the substitute did not hit the kid after the N-word. It was after that slap.
Physical assault. Yeah, I can take that too. Well, see, that's I said, the N-word not enough, but with your hands over it, and there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, see, what's interesting about that is from the video, and this is what I didn't understand. From the video, you can clearly see at least one of the hits
from the student
to the teacher. You can see that clearly in the video.
You said at least one. If it's one, then that's gang. That's all I.
Right. That's my version. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But most people who I saw who reacted to the video saw that version and were still upset that this woman put her hands on the student.
Yeah, no.
The golden rule.
We are raising some weak ass kids. We know that.
Either way you twist that golden rule, whether you look at it from the positive, whereas you do unto others as you would have others do unto you, or the negative, do not do unto others as you would not have others do unto you. Either way, in this situation, the golden rule was not observed by this kid. The teacher, however, observed the holy hell out of the golden rule. The whole thing.
All the versions.
This is why it is important to teach your kid the golden rule. See, I have a problem with road rage, which is why I'm kind of glad that I'm not driving right now.
I share your problem.
Yeah, I don't like people who, to me, in my opinion, again, it's my opinion, fuck y'all. I don't like people who drive stupid and do stupid things. There's a whole plethora of gadgets on your car that enable you to drive safely. There's a brake. There's turn signals.
2 brakes.
There's that emergency one, in case some of y'all missed that. All that whole thing. Before you start getting on the road not using that stuff, and we don't know what you're doing, and you about to cause an accident,
you really don't know what you're doing.
You might want to do that. So, and I say that to say that in my road rage, I have learned one very, very important thing. I've seen it from both perspectives, because there are the days when there are other drivers who are pissing me off, but there are days when maybe I'm doing something that I'm pissing somebody else off. So I have to take a look at that and be willing to go, you know what, I did that to somebody one time. I got to eat it if they in
the left lane and I had to get over fast.
Right, because all of a sudden that was the turn I was supposed to make. I'm not driving all the way around this block again. It's rush hour. I don't have time. I'm not doing all of that. Got to cut somebody off real quick. I'm guilty of it. So I have to, when somebody else does it, I don't have the right to get upset because I've done it to people. How can I be mad at something that I've done when I see it in someone else? And that's what we don't teach our children. A lot of y'all are raising kids to believe that their shit don't stink, but y'all are raising kids who are full of shit.
Say that for the people in the back.
And it's not fair to everybody else in society that has to deal with them. You're the only person who thinks that your child is special and beautiful and golden and all the rest of that other hot shit. You and them, your whole family is the only one.
You know, I'll be on my Kanye.
For real, like.
Listen, people, listen. I have this conversation often, and I'm going to get in trouble for having it here with you.
Let's do that.
Grandparents gotta knock it the fuck off.
Thank you.
My son's grandmother is hindering his growth with the love and the smothering and the making up for. I'm talking about it. Keep looking at me. It's not serving him, and it's not serving me and his dad and the rest of us and you and the community and the world and the universe that will have to impact this child and be impacted by this child. Yeah, he's sweet, he cute, he beautiful, he handsome, he is the Messiah. But guess what? The nigga did some fucked up shit. So we gotta correct it. My son, I'm so angry. My son ordered $200 worth of Amazon on my mother's iPad. Toys. Got this. Oh, that shit got the wings on it? Yeah, I'm gonna get that. Click. He just click. Now, golden rule, right? Your mother would have reset your heartbeat for picking up some cheese noodles at the corner store if she didn't say you could. Right? This dude done spent $200 on a card she ain't used in weeks, right? You think he got a whooping? You think she reprimanded the child like all for his behavior, 6 years old? The kicker, people, and this is what I'm trying to tell y'all grandparents, you doing too much. She allowed the boy, he don't know it, but she's allowing him to keep some of the toys he purchased for himself. Since he ordered them already and they here and it's Christmas coming. You would have took my pants off my ass and took me back to Valley Fair if I took $20 off your dresser for some fucking clothes for school. But you about to let this nigga keep the goddamn money trucks. It's not teaching him anything. Yeah. And what it is teaching him is not going to serve him in the world. Right. And with all of us trying to raise a well-balanced, individual that's, capable and not a fuck boy, you can't do this. Stop making these kids fuck boys. And it's these grandparents. I'm just being honest.
That's one component.
It's too much.
And I need to say this. Most of y'all, if you follow me on any social media, you know that I love my nieces and nephews, and I'm always, doing stuff with them as much as I possibly can. And one of the problems that I run into from the other adults in their life, and I'll leave it that general, is that
I should have.
There is the inconsistency. And it goes back to what you were just talking about. Things that the generation before us did, they don't do now. You doing too much when you do it. But you would have taken. I remember once my mother beat me and then took me downstairs to show my grandmother the webs on my legs to make sure that my grandmother knew that I had been chastised properly. Now, I'm not saying this because I don't look. I'm not scarred because of it. My life is not bad because of it. My mother was not a bad or abusive mother. Most of y'all would met her. My mother's a wonderful woman.
The man that was the product of the webs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I'm not telling you. I heard the story in the bond.
Right. But what I'm saying is, now my mother has grandchildren, and she will not do that to them. I will.
And in this day and age,
I go buy special equipment to beat children.
It was so critical then for us, clearly, as it produced us being great people. But it's so needed now in this world, the way everything is going. These kids got to be stronger than we were. They can't afford to be weaker. And they can't afford the inconsistencies. Now, in my case, the good news is, grandma on her own. She do whatever, or let the little nigga slide. I mean this, and I say the word now. I don't care how you feel about it, but that's mine. I can call it what I want, and I don't do that, out loud. But this little joker is around other people like us, like me and you. Like if I call his godfather, who is a lady, and if I call, if I text my brother and be like, well, he did this, it's no iPad. It's, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get talked to real loud. You know what I'm saying? Little grab up in the hood. She the only one. She the only one. But even that's enough. Even that's too much. Right. And even that's going to create, like you said, a situation where he go to first grade. What he going to do to the teacher? What he going to say to the teacher? Right. And furthermore, when I go to school and go, oh, Christian did this or he got, he did that, I can't defend that. Yeah. There's no way I'm going to be able to defend that.
Now, I just had an incident. One of my nephews, he's 8 years old. I don't know how this works because this wasn't a thing when I was little. There's a whole bunch of new things that these kids, the alphabet soup letters they got behind their names, like they got PhDs, they got ADHD, this D, that D. So, and I'm not saying that these things don't exist. I'm saying when I was young, that wasn't that. You went to Miss such and such class where the rest of the kids acted out. You sat in there all day, I guess. But at any rate, because I wasn't there. So Damn, I lost my train of thought. That's horrible.
The specialness of the child and kids, special children.
My nephew, the school called me this past week, right? And my nephew has been told, he's 8 years old. My nephew has been told that he doesn't metabolize sugar well. It makes him hyper. This is an 8-year-old.
Somebody told this to the 8-year-old.
Somebody told this to the 8-year-old. Now, so the school calls me, and it's like, what time does the school day end? At the latest, 3?
3-ish.
They called me like 2:30. So you've been acting a monkey the whole day. To the point where they were like, we don't even want to wait until you just go home. We got to call somebody right now. So I'm the first person they call because obviously my sister's at work. So they called me, and my nephew, I can hear him in the back. He's crying. He's distraught because they called me. Not because he's sorry about what he just did, but he's mad because they always threaten to call me, but they don't call. Y'all have set yourselves up for failure. Because I told you, call me the first time. That's another show. So my nephew is in the back dying, apparently. Just the thought that I am on the phone, the spirit is leaving this child's body. You can hear it in the background. Poor thing. So the woman is on the phone telling me everything that he did. So I'm cutting her off like, all right, because I don't really want to talk to you now. I hear this child in the background, and I need to shut him up, is my feeling. So I say to the lady, all right, let me talk to him. The boy gets on the phone, and you could hear that whole, you could hear that whole thing happening. And so I paused there, I said, shut up, be quiet. Yes. I said, did they tell you what to do? Did you not do what the adults told you to do? But no, I don't want to hear that. This is a yes or no question. Because we're at the point where there's no more conversation. Because all the adults that you have been talking with and who have been talking with you throughout the day have given you this information consistently. So he begins to tell me that he had sugar for breakfast and Okay, well listen. I'm going to have your mother bring you by my house. When you get home from school, he says, okay, he calms down. He says, okay, are we going to talk about it? No! There's nothing to talk about at this point because the school had to call me. Like, I got to stop what I'm doing right now to talk to you on the phone, bruh. I don't care that you're 8. That's not my problem or my concern. My concern is that the school is on the phone right now because you did not do what you were supposed to do. That's my issue. So then here come the tears again.
As he gets
shut up and carry your behind back upstairs to class. I'll see you later. So I text my sister, you need to bring the kid over. The whole night goes by. My sister never shows up.
No kidding.
I text her the next day, what happened? Oh, well, he was so distraught.
I took care of him.
And I took him home and I asked him and I found out that he had sugar for breakfast. So it's not his fault. Here's the problem I have with that. You've told him for the past 2 years that he doesn't metabolize sugar. And he shouldn't be eating it if he's going to school. So he knew what he was eating. He could have asked for a banana, he could have asked for an apple, he could have asked for oatmeal. He ate whatever, donuts or whatever it was that they brought in that day. And then he couldn't control himself the rest of the day. So I need to let him know that it's not okay for you to make that type of decision, particularly early in the morning, because it affects the rest of the adults. But what's happened now is he's found a safe haven, my sister. Because he knows that all he has to do is cry hard enough and he can get out of it.
You know what else he's also found a safe haven in? Being repeatedly told for 2 years that he doesn't
metabolize sugar. So anytime he's acting up, and he does this, anytime he's acting up, all he has to do is say, I had X, Y, and Z. I had juice.
Oh, remember? Because
I had a popsicle. I had gum.
I don't metabolize sugar well.
But this is what he does as soon as he comes in the house, because he knows I keep gum, but what he doesn't know is my gum is sugarless. So you can act like you just had gum and act a monkey all you want to. I'll break your legs. You don't get the opportunity to try to play me like that because I'm 8 times 5 plus more. So you don't get to do that. And it's my job to correct you when you think that you have that opportunity. Now, this is where adults have to work in tandem. Because if there's more than one adult in the kid's life, all y'all need to be on the same page. Because what the kid is going to do is continue to work different angles until they find the weak link. And in this particular angle, with this particular incident, with this particular kid, my sister is this weak link. Because now he knows all I got to do is say I had sugar, and if I cry enough, I'm not going to be in trouble. Now, if my sister had just brought the kid to the house and said he had sugar that morning, I wouldn't have spanked him, but I would have impressed upon him, let this happen again where you eat sugar in the morning knowing you're not supposed to have it, and this time there will be no more conversations. See that, but that teachable moment couldn't happen because she decided at this point. Now, if you make me the person that they call,
then you gotta let me.
Then you gotta let me be the person that they call. You can't renege on what I'm gonna say for whatever reason. It can't be because you were too tired. Because I live close enough, I'd have walked to your house if you had said something. So it's not that.
Rule that we need. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Back. Yes. All right.
Oh no. Yeah. You have to now. If my point in that too. If I had set up a situation where I was going against what my sister said, if my sister had sent the kids over and said, don't give them any sugar, and then I load them full of donuts and candy, and then I send them back home, then I'm like, I get like, why did you give them that? You know that he can't have that. Now he's not sleeping and he won't get up for school, and there's a chain reaction. So if it's not something that you would want done, you don't do that to anybody else. Now there were I have to be honest. Did you read that?
I did.
Okay. Because when I was planning today's show was going to be something different. It was going to be something completely different. I actually had a guest who was going to come, and this has happened to me more than once where the guest cancels at the last minute. That's why I don't promote. Not because I could promote the show itself. You guys know about the show, et cetera, ad infinitum. But when I want to bring on guests, because I know that I don't have all the information, and I don't think that I should be just filling you with commentary. I think I need to have experts and people who have, specific information to give you. I think that's what I want from a radio show. That's what I want from a show, period. I want useful information.
And we at GS Radio like to promote and support and engage in conversation with our community and the people who do the same work we do and align their values and core work the same way we do. Mm-hmm.
So I had a guest lined up, and I had asked this guest maybe a week or so before, and we happened to be at a party this weekend, and the person I had, messaged them and said, let me know, I'm saying I'm looking forward to the show. Now, when I told them what their response was, whatever it was, but I didn't get a no. So when I sent the message this weekend and was asking about the show, I didn't get a response in regard to the show. I'd asked several questions, and they kind of glossed over it.
That anything other than a yes is not a yes. If you don't get a specific yes,
that's not what I'm saying, because I don't say that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get to that. All right, so I got a message yesterday from the person. The person says, "Well, I didn't commit, and I had other things that I have to do. And they sent me their itinerary for today." And I looked at my phone. Hell no. I looked at my phone like, wow, because with my friendships, I don't do politics. I don't like political answers to things. I don't like that. Well, I didn't really say. If we talked about it, you were like, oh, okay, yeah, that'll be good. To me, that's a yes. So I'm not saying that I'm mad at the person. I'm not saying any of that. What it taught me is to treat people how I am treated. Because this is how I start off. When I meet you, I treat you the way that I like to be treated. And I like to be treated well by my friends, by my family. I treat myself well.
I'm used to it.
So,
spoil, hashtag
what?
Spoil.
I'm the first one to spoil me. There's nobody else who can do it better.
Every other person that spoiled me is myself.
For real. So I don't expect anybody else to spoil me, but I treat people well, so I expect to be treated well. So that's why I don't do that half-hearted, maybe kind of sort of wishy-washy type of thing. That's not what I do. Anybody who knows me, and lately the thought has been coming into my head that maybe I've had too many filters still in my life. Now some of y'all might look at me and go, what? You?
Filter?
Yeah, I actually have a couple of filters, but they are dissipating as we speak. So if you hear me say something, just know that I am telling it to you from a perspective of love and truth. I am trying to be honest as possible.
And love.
Yeah, I need those to go together because I can be brutally honest. I can be viciously honest.
I can too.
Yeah, I can do that, but that's not what I want to do now. What I would like to do is be lovingly honest, but I'm going to tell you the truth, and I really don't mince words. I don't have the time.
And then you know sometimes you try your hardest to be the humbly speaking, and it's still misinterpreted as coming crazy.
Of course.
So you might as well just come crazy. That's what, listen, and I'm a Capricorn, don't be like me.
I'm going to say lead with that.
But I just got into another situation recently where I was called disrespectful. I said this, I said that. And I'm like, oh no, but that's not, that thing you heard is the mild version, bro. That ain't even hot sauce. I didn't say look how I.
There was no heat on that. There was no heat on that. I did not turn the heat up
but
on that.
But if that's what you think happened, then I can give you the rest of it because that's what's up. Like
it can happen.
I hate when I'm trying. I'm like, I didn't even do that.
Yeah.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Mercy.
No, I got a text today. It was the funniest. It was so cute. There's an event that's coming up, and the promoter for the event I've worked with once before, just once. And I was treated so badly that I've decided I'm not working with this person again. And you know, because this was a house community type of thing, and because the house community in this area is pretty small, everybody kind of knows each other. You know, when I spoke to people about it, because I needed some clarity, one of the first things I do if I'm talking to somebody else about a situation, it's because I need clarity before I address the person in the situation, because obviously I don't know enough about you to enter into this situation the way that I'm gonna need to, and I know that I can be abrasive when I first, you know, approach a situation that I'm passionate about. A lot of people put up a wall immediately because of the way that I, you know, am expressing myself, and I get that. I understand. I've had people who bark at me about certain things, and I get that. But that's not what happened. So I was treated really, really badly, and I spoke to some people about it, and they said, well, why don't you talk to the promoter and, you know, see what you could come to? And so I did. I spoke to him, and I asked him, I said, you know, come to the show. And he said, yes, okay, I'll do that.
Yes.
So the day of the show, I'm getting ready, and I'm on my way to the studio, and I get, and something just said,
check on it.
Text and make sure they're coming.
Was
and I did.
Was I here that day?
Probably. So I did, and this is 10 minutes before the show. I was running a little late to the studio, so I get to the studio, and I pull out my phone, and I get a text saying I'm not coming. That's it. There was no I apologize, I'm not coming. There was no I'm sorry, something came up, I had an emergency. There was just I'm not coming. So the text that I got today was from this promoter. During the time that all of this stuff had happened before, I was in a text chat. It was me, the promoter, and another friend of ours who was trying to, I guess, mediate the situation. So I guess the promoter forgot that I was in that particular chat.
Right.
And thank God that, you know, it wasn't anything bad that they said.
It was bad enough.
It was just that they sent me a message saying to promote their next event, which I wouldn't dare do. I'm not going. hate the fact that you use the same people all the time. I hate the fact that you're an asshole. I hate the fact that you have such control issues in your life that you can't release people to do their artistic best. I hate the fact that your entire camp is shrouded in rumors and scandals and bull. I hate all of that. And I'm not going to do it. I wish you a successful event, though. I hope you have, I don't wish anybody, a bad turnout, because I know what it takes to put on an event. So I really hope that you have a wonderful event. I hope that it's amazing. I'm sure there'll be people there who are broadcasting live, so I can save my money in my pocket and still go.
And not be treated bad.
Yeah, and I don't, that's not something that I'm not a stickler for, I wouldn't say I'm a stickler for tradition, but I am a stickler for manners and being treated well.
Listen, particularly in this business and in this industry, I'll say, I do a lot in Newark, you do a lot in Newark. Events, public, private, be they political or just some fun party type stuff. I went to a party on Saturday. I was invited by someone. It was their party. They were the guests. They were the host. They on the flyer. They asked me personally in my real text message inbox, not like social media. Like, we know each other. Come through. Well, come through. I got two of my friends with me. We gonna come through. That's what you're looking for. It's party, birthday, turn up. Then we get to the door, and it's an issue with the payment situation and the letting, and they're coming to the door, and I'm all like, I'm not giving these people my money. I'm not here for myself. I would never be here. It's just a straight bar. I don't do this. You a whole dude. I don't do that. So what we're not gonna do, I'm not giving, and my people's with me, they don't even do. So do what you said you was gonna do. Or what I believe the expectation was based on how I'm treated, professionally in the city and privately. I know a lot of people who give parties. I support and I buy tickets to stuff I go to and don't go to. I do work in the community. And I'm treated well and not asked to pay anything when I go to certain things a lot of the time, whether I know you or don't know, So I'm used to a certain expectation. And that expectation wasn't met immediately. Now, once I made it clear, I'm like, okay, no shade, I don't know what you thought, but this is how, again, I'm used to being treated as a person and kind of a person, because I know this person, kind of both ways. You ain't gonna do me like this either way. Right. And I got these chicks with me, we ain't gonna do that. It was rectified immediately. But there is something to be said about, professionalism and being treated to a certain standard as a host, as a personality. That goes a long way. With a promoter, with an artist, there's a certain level of treatment that I've earned at this point. And I won't take it from nobody else, take anything less. That's just...
my thing is, as a person first.
Facts.
And that's why, when I started thinking of this show, because obviously, like I said, the person who was supposed to come didn't come. And I had to think of a show topic to talk about. And my original show topic, I'm sure, I don't know if that's why you were looking, laughing. I put up a list of who got me fucked up.
That's exactly why. What you mean you don't know? You can't have a
that's
on the side. Number one or number two? Number one.
Yeah.
No. Technically, because it's on it. It's on the list. Period. I literally looked up who got me fucked up. Yeah. Okay.
Because it's the list. Because what I needed to do for myself, what I needed to do for myself was take it and make it into something that's a teachable moment. So I needed to, in the video with the student and the substitute teacher was on my mind, because there was a video that was posted, maybe it's a couple of years ago now, where a similar incident happened, but it was a young black woman, and there was a school, I don't know if he was an officer or security guard, who body slammed this young black woman in the from behind her desk or something, or clotheslined, or something happened.
I think it was a body.
So again, the same thing happened. Somebody posted this video, and I'm online now. My question is always this: what did she do? Now, when I say that, people look at me and go, "That's not the point. That is not the point. It doesn't matter what she did. She's a child. No man should be manhandling her like that." I was screamed at. I was called all manner of things. It got to the point where I had to block somebody online because of the things that they were saying. It got stupid. And my question is, what did this girl do? I'm not saying that it's her fault that he did that. He's a grown man. He's a whole grown man. He should be, and he's at work. So those are two things that make him responsible for his behavior. One, he's a whole grown man talking or interacting with a child. That's one. Two, you are at work, bruh. You at work. So I don't know what type of school this was. I didn't get into that whole backstory. But from this whole dialogue on social media, obviously, because this is where all the trolls live, and in this particular instance, I asked this question, what did she do? And everybody lost their minds. Now, this is my thing. Again, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you, or do not have others do unto you. And what I am noticing, and I have to say, and if I am wrong, somebody please correct me, but I am finding this trend alarmingly among young women. And maybe I was raised in a transition of eras. From people who were coming out of, the people who were raised in the 50s and 60s raised me. In the 70s, I can't see from all the way over there, baby. You got to come over here and join us or something. Yeah. What's the differentiation in what?
All right. What's the difference between the security guard who slammed a young lady out her desk?
Mm-hmm. And the substitute?
Yes, he's a white male. Mind you, you just stated that he has a job.
No, he was a black male too.
Okay, he was a black male.
Mm-hmm.
And she still had a job. But then again, she still assaulted a child.
Right.
Even though the child did hit her first, she had to protect herself.
Right.
But yet again, she still was at a job. She had the proper protocol to do.
I'm not sure that my job allows me the protection to protect myself. I don't think my job is responsible for me, or even thinks that I'm supposed to protect myself. That's a whole nother situation, because particularly this school situation, my job is to protect the kid. That's what they're paying me to do.
Right.
So they probably paying me to protect the kid from myself and other teachers. Say again?
Who's going to protect you from the child?
I am, but that's why we're going to have a video and we're going to be right here. There's going to be protection. I know that my job is not expecting me to protect myself from my child. I know from a child. I know that's not.
No, we worked for the same company at one point, and I had an incident where I was at work and there was a young lady who wanted to leave the complex. She was on restriction. She wasn't allowed to leave the complex. So we're not allowed to physically restrain. We weren't allowed to physically restrain. I could knock her fucking head off. But at that point, because I was an employee, I was not allowed to physically restrain her, but she wasn't allowed to leave the house. So I called the on-call supervisor because we didn't have supervisory staff directly on site. I called them and asked them what to do. They said, well, you got to stand in front of the kid in the door. What? So I have to put myself in harm's way if this young lady decides that she don't want to be in this house. Yeah, this is what they're telling me. So at some point I'm not going to do it. So I was locking doors.
I'm not going to do it.
And so I was locking doors trying to keep her in the house and stuff at one point. And minutes later, all I know is I got hit in the back of the head with a cell phone. Now, here's the thing. The agency that I worked for was in charge of DVS kids. There were kids who were in DVS care. DVS kids are wards of the state. So if I did anything to her physically, I catch a charge for assaulting a ward of the state. It's like hitting a police officer almost. It's that type of charge. It's not just you assaulted a kid. It's a more serious charge because they're a ward of the state. So because they've already had a hard life, if you hit them, it's like you're doing much more damage or something like that. I guess that's the logic behind it. So I wasn't allowed to defend myself. But also because this was where this young girl lived, because she didn't live with her family, she lived in a group home. So because she lived in a group home, and this was her home, and I was just staff, even though this was the only place that I worked in this company, they had to bring her back to the house. This is where she lived. They brought her back to the house. Needless to say, obviously, I don't work there anymore. But this is why I won't go back to work there, because you all are taking, as an employee, I was assaulted and everything. And what happened was I actually went to go bring charges But something happened that day, and I wasn't able to make it to court, so they ended up dropping the charges because I was going full steam ahead. I was not. They were like, "But you're gonna mess up her life. This is gonna be." I don't give a damn. If her parents had taught her that you do not hit people because you don't want to be hit, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit you a whole. 1 second, I got you. The one thing, and this was the comment that I saw on one of the videos that someone posted. When you do something to somebody, you can't control the retribution. Once you do unto somebody, you're telling them that's how I want to be done. But people interpret actions a whole different way. So just because you slap me across my face, the end result could be that I give you a right hook, a left hook, another uppercut, drag you up out your seat, throw you on the ground, stomp on your head, and I feel like that's fair. But this is all after you call me a nigger.
3 times in a row.
All of that's after you call me a nigger. So you can't control the retribution, so what you might want to control is your actions in your mouth. Because getting stomped out is a real thing. Getting choked out is a real thing.
Out every day, B.
I got a niece you could ask.
Every day, B.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Oh, it wasn't.
Or comment?
I'm gonna be honest. I know what you're talking about. The other day I was at my second job.
Mm-hmm.
I had some nice fitted pants on. So a young lady came up. She's a coworker. I didn't take it as harassment, but she came up. She felt my thigh and my rear end. My natural, because of what I went through, like the past trauma, I told her I swung first, then I asked questions of that, and I connected that with her chest. She fell on the floor, she couldn't breathe, none of that, she had a little problem. But I felt bad afterwards because I swung first, like, and I felt as though I let myself down because I felt as though, like, if that other situation didn't happen, she wouldn't have got hit. But yet again, certain things you're not supposed to do. Every action has to be action, whether you're prepared for it or not. She wasn't prepared.
I think the important part is equal and opposite. Like, if you slap me, my opposite reaction might be to run you over with my car.
But my opposite reaction is also an equal reaction.
Indeed, it's equal.
Yes, and that's the thing that we need to take into account.
The equalness.
Once you have done something to somebody,
y'all uneven.
You have given them free reign, in essence, to enact something on your life that you no longer can control. But the green light is you said okay with your actions.
Just like when my son ordered that $200 off the Amazon. Now he think the rest of his life, can order whatever he wants. Not just order. He probably feel like he can go on Hawaii when he wants. He can take her this when he wants. He got access to whatever he wants when it comes to her. Like anybody else for that matter. I'm sure you might, he's the child, he's going to push his boundaries.
Right.
I can do that on that car. I'm going to do that on Uncle car. I'm going to see what Uncle car hitting for. It sets up a dangerous precedent.
It does. It really does.
For him, because he's going to get stopped and took out the chair. Not me.
You're setting them up for failure. You're setting the kids up for failure. You're setting him up for potentially, God forbid, God forbid, worst case scenario, a life of doing that to people who don't know him. And then that's jail. Least scenario, he keep doing it to grandma, and now she can't pay for the things that she needs for herself. And then you can't come and scream at me talking about, well, you owe me for this, and this, because no, you should have beat his little ass and told him that all of this was going back.
Did you tag me in this?
Yes, I did.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I gotta take the stuff she don't keep back to Kohl's because they got an Amazon return.
No.
Mama, I love you to death, baby. I didn't order nothing from Amazon. I'm not taking nothing back to Amazon. I didn't pay for nothing. I didn't choose nothing. And I choose to discipline him differently than allowing him to steal from you and say it's okay. I'm not going to Kohl's.
You really have to, a lot of times parents don't think about these types of repercussions.
It's terrible.
One thing that I don't like is when a kid walks into adult presence and doesn't speak. Even if you walk into my house, even if you don't know if I'm home, you need to come and find me in the house. Hi.
Uncle.
Give me hi. Love you.
Your house for them. So.
You need to do that. That's what you can't be in my. There are people who allow stuff like that. I'm not one of them. Because that's not how I was raised. Even if we, like, my family often, we would get, oftentimes we lived in multi-family homes. You came in, you went to everybody's house. You didn't stay on this side of the house or that side of the house. You went and said, hi. Hi, grandma, hi, grandpa, hi, auntie, hi, this, hi, uncle, hi. And then you went and played with the kids.
If that's what happened.
That's what you went and did.
Okay. So what you just said, you said how you was raised.
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit before, you was also talking about how some of these kids are awarded to the state.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kids don't have the opportunity and the resources and have people in their lives to give them these morals, these what's another word besides morals?
Values.
Like morals, values, core things that you can actually build a house on, things that you can actually build your life on. A lot of these people houses are built on sand. And probably this child here is probably built on sand and had a bad day. You feel me? Again, they probably didn't have the person to teach them that the N-word is bad. You know, they see it around them.
That's what I'm about to let me tell you
what's going on. Like, it's a difference from communicating with a person and the person comprehending. You can communicate with a person all day. You can communicate with Spanish person all day.
Guess who responsible for comprehension? Guess who get paid to worry about comprehension? Teachers, baby. Teachers, they supposed to worry about comprehension.
Yes.
And I don't care what the task is, what the situation is, what the issue is. You don't have to be skinny to know what you're supposed to do to be skinny. You don't got to play basketball to know the rules. Let me tell you what you also don't got to do. Even if your house built on sand, it's only going to take one storm for you to see somebody else's house still standing and you know yours won't. You got to know. Even if it's not happening to you and you're not raised that way, whatever like that, you know. My son, 6 years old, he know good and damn well he can't get a bag of chips out the store without me paying for it. Mm-hmm. He knew he was ordering. He's seen packages from Amazon come to his house a million times. He knew what he was doing. What's wrong? Period. Mm-hmm. Everybody got the good and evil, the knowledge of right.
And he didn't do it on your phone.
Hold on. It extends back.
Say that.
So again, you cannot.
First of all, he can't get a shot. Never mind. My shot right card. They won't let me even say it.
In second or third grade, unless you pass a comprehension. That was in the state of New Jersey back when I was in school. I was out of school for a couple of years.
Let me tell you something.
So what I'm saying is that at the age of 5 and 6, you know right from wrong, you know what not to touch, you know what to touch, you know what's hot, you know what's cold, you know
that don't change
lie,
at
you know
14.
not to lie.
That don't change at 14, even if you ain't got no parents.
At the end of the day, you have the knowledge of what to do and what not to do. So when you're sitting up here ordering from Amazon, or when you're sitting up here hitting and cursing at the teacher, thinking that it's not gonna, like nothing's gonna happen, again, you have to be prepared for the repercussions.
Right, and that's whether you have parents at home or not. Yeah, it got me.
There's a saying or a train of thought that you can have anything in this world that you want if you're willing to pay for it. Different things have different prices. If you feel like you want to be the big bad, the BMOC as they call it, the big man on campus, and you want to strike a woman after calling her a nigger, in this day and age in Trump's America, even though I think he was I don't know, I'm still confused. I thought I was looking at a boy, they saying it's a girl. I don't know what's happening. This child was, I think was this child a brown child too?
Yes. No.
Yeah, brown child, right? It's not okay. You don't know what that woman went through. You don't know if she grew up in rural Alabama,
right,
being called nigger by people who actually meant it derogatorily and wasn't calling you my nigger. You don't know what her past traumas are. You don't know what her situation is in the moment. She could have came to work and found out her mother died and said, look, I can't wallow in this. I can't deal with it right now. Let me come to work. You just really don't know what somebody is going through.
Johnson is also LaQuisha in the street because she could be a pop-offer.
Yeah,
you don't know that. She could have.
Listen.
She could be the one that you
it
call.
It could be Quita.
That she could be cousin Quita when it's going down. That's
she could be the one that they call.
For the substitute teacher.
Apparently, this woman, Tiffany is
Big Tiff on campus.
Yes.
She's a popper. We know this.
And now you know.
Don't.
So what I say all of this, I give all these examples to say you need to treat people fairly for one. Two, there's one thing that I do. If anybody who meets me know, when you first meet me, for the most part, I'm rather quiet. I survey a room before I just start talking. I know that everybody's humor isn't the same too. I don't know what offends you, might not offend me, but also I don't know how you like to be treated. There are some people who don't mind certain things that I mind. I don't. If we're in a conversation, shut up when I'm talking, and I'm going to shut up when you talk. It's just that simple, because I would like to hear what you're saying so that I can process it and give you an intelligent response. That's communication. This is how we comprehend. I want to comprehend what you're saying. So I don't want you talking over me, and I won't talk over you. I like both ends of the spectrum. I'm not going to do anything to you that I don't want done, but I'm also going to do to you what I would like done. I'm going to do those both things. So I need to watch you. I need to survey you. I need to find out what it is that you like. I need to find out how it is. Because also you need to remember, everybody don't receive information the same way. I might like to read. Some people might need a video. Some people might need to be smacked in their head twice on a Thursday afternoon around 3:27 p.m. during the month of June, full moon only, for them to get it. You have to consider all these things. You can't just pop up, well, that's how I am, and that's me, and because everybody don't have to treat you just that way, just because that's you. Nobody has to put up with your bullshit but you. Not your kids, not your partner, not your co-workers. Nobody has to put up with it. Your teacher doesn't have to put up with it. Your parents don't have to put up with it. So be the thing that you want. Be the thing that you want from other people. Be that.
Or be prepared.
Or be prepared to get what other people got to give. And you really don't know how somebody else give it up. I know that boy did not think that teacher gave it up like that.
Let me tell you something.
It was a white boy.
It was a white boy? Yeah. Oh, see, and the plot thickens. It was a girl. The plot thickens. Because they kept saying girl. Some reports said girl. I thought I was looking at a boy.
No, it's a white.
It's a white boy?
Yeah, they keep.
A white female?
I know the person Caucasian. They ain't asked them.
But you can't, because they got on the hood, so you really can't tell. Okay. Whatever it is, when I said brown, I meant like she might be Latino or something like that. No, she's, okay. Well, your parents really should have taught you not to use that word anyway. I'm sorry that your friends have made you believe that it's okay for you to say that, but the teacher was there to teach you that it's not.
And it's confirmed she did. She doing teacher first.
Because it's on the video. But the N-word, see, that's the thing that confuses me. People saw the teacher get hit and were still mad that she hit the student back. But once the teacher they said the kid called the teacher N-word. Oh, well, now that explains it. Now it's okay. Now that's why the teacher acted out. No. The teacher acted out. The teacher hit the student when she got hit, which was on the video. How are y'all okay with that? When is that okay? That's why y'all don't have good teachers to teach our kids. Because y'all allow bullshit like that to happen and y'all get mad at the wrong things. Ask the question, what happened? You have to allow for the fact that the kid was being a fucking kid. And everybody ain't gonna treat your kids the way that you do.
Nor should they.
And they shouldn't. That's what keeps your kids coming home, because you treat them like that. You better hope everybody treats your kid fucked up so that they always show their ass to fuck back up at home. Because once your kid finds somebody who treats them better than you, you have lost.
Okay, so here's another thing. I'm reading some of the comments after viewing what people saying, and I didn't think of it until I actually looked at her picture. I think she is smiling at her mugshot.
Is that her mugshot? Are you sure that's her mugshot?
Yes.
Because I see that picture.
Right, and the thing is, that mugshot, that smile, is not no other smile. I think that's the smile that, she won't call another black person nigger.
Right.
That's that type of smile.
Yeah.
Because I have that same smile when
Like everything that happened to me from now on, I'm gonna eat it, and I'm gonna eat it with this smile on my face, like just like that.
It's that smile that I got her.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna take, because she bonded out. They locked her up that day. She bonded out $10,000. She's home, and the kid has got a lawyer and all the rest of that. But at the end of the day, and people say that, and I've gotten. Let me not say that people say. I'm gonna say this. I've gotten the notion from people sometimes that I blame the parents too much. I've gotten that notion that, because I always say go back to the parents. And I firmly believe that in many accords. There are two things that you can teach your kids: what to do and what not to do. That's it. And if you fail in even one of those areas, your kid is going to fill in the blanks from somewhere else.
And I just to your point, it's not just parents that teach children what to do and what not to do.
Exactly.
It's family that teach them what to do and what not to do. Co-workers, kids in school, community members, TV, life experiences. Touching that pot will teach you either to touch it or don't touch it. So yeah, the inconsistency, like I said, if you're the parent that's not showing the consistency on what to do and what not to do, everything else will fill in those blanks.
Not necessarily, because I can speak from this point of view. My mother had me and my brother. My brother's older than me. My brother been locked up. He's joined the gang, sold drugs. Me, I haven't been locked up. I chilled with the gang. You know what I'm saying? And I did what I had to do to make some money. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we both lived in the same household, and we both taught the same roles. And
that's not true.
Did the same.
I'm just because, and I wasn't at your house, but just because y'all two different genders, I can tell you now y'all wasn't treated the same. As clearly evidenced by y'all's different outcomes and different paths. Y'all didn't walk the same road and end up at the same time.
But we had the same morals. We had the same.
Did you?
Values. Yes. How is that?
She's saying her parents instilled the same things, like taught y'all the same stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so continue the
I would
story.
again challenge that, but I won't do it now.
Thank you.
That's enough. That's a later day. But like the same rules that my mom gave me is the same rules that she gave my brother. As in what we should do and what she expected us. You feel me? But I also seen an article too from this Nipsey Hussle. He's like, I can't let your expectations get me upset because you're mad because I can't do what you want me to do. What I'm necessarily saying is, we expect people to treat us with respect, and we expect people to follow the golden rules that were stored upon us from what we was taught from our parents. But we also got to realize that common sense is not common to everybody.
No.
And certain things is that what we might consider provocative or what we might not like, the next person might like. You know what I mean? So we might just have to say with this option out that, like you said, what if the little girl was going through something and the teacher walking up on her trip or something? What if the kid did say something to the teacher and she went straight hook? Because here they talk about how she went to UFC fighting and street fights that she can't wear jogging shorts. She waited for the little girl in the picture. So what I'm saying is you gotta look at everybody's perspective and their point of view and just accept people for what it is, and we can't necessarily say it's the little girl's fault.
No, I'll say this. The girl swung first. Keep your hands to yourself. If you want to sit and call me, now, as evidenced in the video, I didn't see a video yet where she called the substitute teacher a nigger. I haven't seen that. What I did see, the teacher was in front of the girl swung and hit her, and then the teacher racked her up. Real good.
But you ever had somebody in your face talking to you and you have to open them up? So, and that's what I'm saying. From that point of view, the little girl probably felt threatened because now the teacher's time went over while she's in the bed.
But she called me a nigger. Which is what brought you over. That's what brought her. See, you can't tell me that you want me to stay away from me, but you call me a nigger. Because that's going to pull me over to you. That's an attraction. Good or bad. Remember, we just talked about physics. For every action is an equal and opposite reaction. So you might have thought that you was repelling me by calling me a nigger, but what that is going to do the opposite. It's going to pull me right over in your face. As evidenced in the video, please go to the videotape. So, from that perspective, no. You can't call me a nigga and expect me to stay away from you, and then when I come and do the exact thing that your actions provoke, then you do something else to provoke me and I'm not supposed to respond? No. In my opinion, that's the appropriate response. Teach your kids as they do in kindergarten. Keep your hands to yourself. Everything, there's a book called Everything I Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Maybe some of y'all need to go back. Keep your hands to yourself. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. If you don't like to be called names that denigrate your race, don't call anybody else a name that will denigrate their race. If you don't like to be hit in the face, don't hit anybody in the face.
Nobody hit you in the face.
If you would like to be treated with respect, treat other people with respect. If you tell somebody that you're going to do something, show up and do it. Don't be that type of person who's wishy-washy. Yes or no. I'm a grown-ass man. You can tell me no. I can take no. It's okay. No is okay with me. Because I will tell you no. Learn to be an adult. To me, these are all adult things. But again, we learned them in kindergarten. So we get ready to, because we are so over time.
Damn it.
Well, no, actually, no, we're right on time, actually. We're actually right on time. So I want to...
We could have kept going.
We really could have. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email me at IMREALDVS@gmail.com. What's the next situation coming up? Don't forget Humble Beginnings. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to send a shout out to Function House last night with Barbara Tucker, Honor the Good, Aaron K. Gray, DJ Q, and the whole staff there. The hostess, her name starts with a V, I think. I can't remember. I apologize. But you all were wonderful to me and my guests and everybody else who was there. We had a wonderful time. You can also look on my page and see the video from last night's party interview live studio session with DJ Q. Barbara Tucker sings live at the end, so you do not want to cut this video early because she performs the finale. Aaron K. Gray performs, and Honor the Good performs. If you don't know Honor the Good, you need to look this chick up. She's so bad. She went to med school so that she could learn the anatomy of the vocal cords so that she could sing better. And coach people better. I think that is just like the coolest shit ever. Like, who goes to med school to learn about singing, what the anatomy is? So, like, I think that's amazing. So, shout out to Anna that I forgot to send you the friend request, but hopefully by the time you see this video, because I am going to tag you in this, you'll be able to see this video, and maybe one day when you're here, we'll be able to have you on the show. Any final thoughts?
I do want to shout out another wonderful sister who you sing here with us.
Yes, oh my God,
my sis, Empress Light, also known in the hood as my sister Iris. I got a phone call today that she has officially passed her LSW license. Shout out to my sis. Making her business out there. Single mother, 4 kids, full-time job, got the degree, got the master's, worked her ass off for this licensing, studied, just, life happened. Everything that could have tried to knock Shorty off her track, defeated. So I'm just super excited. Congratulations, sis. Put some respect on your name. LSW, signature in the morning. You did that. And anybody else that's going to school, shout out to you. You could get it done as well.
Absolutely. Shout out to Nunu Rocks, who is also in school, just got her associate's degree.
Get it, Nunu.
The paralegal stuff. Shout out to my sister Crystal, who is in school for, I think it is leadership and management.
Get it, Crystal. I need a job.
And you can check out her organization she is on Facebook. Look for the Facebook group if you are a woman and you need some sisters to connect with. It's an excellent group of sisters who are in the process of lifting each other up and building each other up. I think it's amazing. I tried to join the group. They wouldn't let me because I'm a dude, so it's real exclusive. It's real exclusive.
That's discriminatory.
It is, but and what was funny was it was so cute because I know all of them, like my niece and them in there.
I know somebody who can't think of the
when I went into the group and sent them the request, nobody would answer it, right? And they talked to me later. They was like, "Yeah, I'm not denying Uncle Antoine. Yeah, no, I'm not. Just somebody else gonna have to do that. I don't want that type of sauce. No." And I think that is just the sweetest thing. I love all of you ladies, and as long as you don't have any events at 78 Lounge, I will be there. So, with that being said, I am going to get out of here. Once I want to thank my co-host as always, Just Joy, and remind everybody that what is it? I always put it outside. It came right into my head like that. It was the harder you fall, the higher you bounce. That's what it was. The harder you fall, the higher you bounce. Remember that when you're tripping. I'm Real DVS, and we are out of here.
Deuces.
Yes, sir. Oh, it wasn't supposed to come with me.
You know why? So it's not connected to this one.
Yeah, all none of this is connected. Are y'all connected? Get connected.